So when we lived in Mountain Home, Idaho, I there was a drive-up restaurant, fast food place, I guess you would call it, out on the edge of town, called the Hungry Onion. And this was a truly, I don't know when it was built, but it was truly one of those sort of what was the American Graffiti kind of places. So I mean, it wasn't like Sonic. It wasn't a made-up, franchised 1950s style diner. It was, in fact, a real 1950s, probably not style, but diner to begin with. So anyhow, we used to go out there sometimes, and of course you could get hamburgers and that sort of stuff like that. But they also had this really unique drinks menu, soda menu. So, for instance, and I was trying to think of a few of them, but I could really only think of two. But basically, they would add flavor to different sodas, and then they would give them names that sounded like, non-virgin drinks. So they had a Scotch and soda, which was a 7-Up with a little bit of butterscotch flavoring in it, and then they had a rum and Coke, which was Coke with a little bit of rum flavoring in it. They had, of course, they had cherry Coke before there was a cherry Coke. They had, I don't know, they had just all kinds of flavors that you could get. And then one last thing I'll say that I remember about it, and that is that, so it was out on the edge of town from Mountain Home in the desert in Elmore County, Idaho. And but when I think about it now, it makes me think of all those places you see in movies about the West, when people pull up to this windblown, isolated, almost deserted gas station or restaurant or diner out in the middle of nowhere. That's kind of what this place looked like, the Hungry Onion, because again, it was on the edge of town, but it was separated enough. It was separated from town by a fair amount of desert. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go back there someday. Okay, love you.